everybody. Welcome to One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. It is so good to have you guys joining us here this Monday night. You know, it's going to get a little bit cooler, but I think things are going to heat up a little bit tonight because Josh and Jay have been a little out of hand already, so we're going to get right into that. Hey, Patty McFeeters, thank you for watching. Thanks for joining us tonight. And any comments, anybody feels free to go ahead and put those on, and we'll make sure we get them on there tonight. I am going to go ahead and bring in with smoke and mirrors that man, Jay Gill. You know, Josh is going to be so jealous about that. You know, he's going to want to know.
I really feel like if you're going to put the smoke up for anyone, you got to put it up for Josh. The dude
That's
is
right.
a legend. I mean, I've always said when that dude was born, God kissed his head and said, "Be blessed, my son," because that guy, he's just absolutely perfect. And so then when I was born, God just smacked me across the face and said, "Go on now, get." So that's the story I always tell, and yeah, that's the truth.
Hey, Laura Bax is watching. Hey, Laura, you know, he's just continuing on from what he did last week, so thanks for joining us. And again, hey, it's going to be a good program. I'm excited to have these two on. These are two of my favorite people, and it's going to be exciting to hear what they have to say. So I'm going to let you go ahead and do that thing you do. Just build them up. Go ahead.
Yeah, you know what, Sports Locker Nation, you guys are in for a treat tonight. Tonight's guests are two of the most selfless people and caring people that I've ever met. Josh and Amanda Crawford are part of the Sports Locker team, and their roles as graphic designers are the reason that this magazine is, you know, it just comes off as cutting edge and just downright gorgeous. But they mean so much more to me personally. I've had the pleasure of knowing them for more than 15 years. Josh and Amanda actually took my wife and I under their wings when Katie and I were just still courting. As we became a young married couple, Josh and Amanda truly became some of our greatest allies in this journey called life. We are forever grateful for the wonderful example of how amazing human beings should be, and for them being such great role models. They have seen us in our highs, and they've definitely seen us at our lows. But they continue to love on us and call us friends. I had to take this opportunity live here in front of Sports Locker Nation to simply say thank you. We wouldn't be the same without you guys, and I hope you both know how much you guys have meant to us over all of these years. So thank you, and I love you. Anyways, I haven't even
Wow, my goodness.
about what they do for the magazine. Oh man, we're constantly told by people how much they love looking at our magazine and the amazing layouts that we have, and just how epically creative it looks. And all of that goes to our designers, which is Josh and Amanda. This is not your typical cookie cutter boring magazine. Josh and Amanda bring it, and I mean bring it, every single issue, and they give these kids something to go brag about. So I'm super proud and so glad to be a part of their lives and to be on their team. So Dad, let's bring out some of the best people we know, Josh and Amanda Crawford.
All right. Hey, guys, how you doing?
Hey,
Hi.
how's it going? Thank
I
you, Jay.
don't know how we follow that. I mean, wow. Now that I'm crying.
Yeah. Hey, that's awesome. I'm just going to go ahead and throw this up here. Our good friend Elijah Mayfield, he's watching, and, you know, he says, Jay, love the hat.
Thank you, brother.
Decent
Appreciate
Carl
that.
Plus. Yeah. And you know what? Guess who else is on here? We've got your mom, Jay Gill.
Aw.
Hey, what's up, Mama? Love you, Mama. Thanks for watching from Arizona. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Very good. Hey, Amanda and Josh, real quick while she's on here, Laura Bax, our writer for almost everything outdoors. I mean, that woman just goes and does everything. Real quick, why don't you just share kind of what you enjoy about putting together those articles?
Oh, I love those articles. It gives me a connection with the outdoors. I love designing earthy things, and I love to see all of the things that she does. And my kids are obsessed with the fish pictures. and the mushroom pictures.
Uh-huh.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's, the writing is excellent, and then you pull it all
Yes.
together with all those things, and you guys do a fantastic job with that. So that is one of Angela's favorite articles to read every issue. So thank you
Yeah.
guys for putting it together. Thank you, Laura, for writing it. It's awesome. Jay, I just threw that one out of nowhere. Didn't even get started with questions, so you go ahead.
I'm sure Amanda is so mad at you. You go off script just first thing,
Right away.
You just didn't even give her the chance to warm
Nope.
up. You're like, hey, let's talk about something I didn't plan on asking. So, Amanda, I'll be much nicer to you.
Thank you.
There are a lot of components to putting a magazine together, and you receive all the photos, you get all of the text for each article, you get the advertisements, you get the initial layout for each magazine. As a designer, what are you trying to accomplish when you have to take all that, put it in the mixing bowl, stir it together, and throw it on the paper? Like, what's your goal when you're trying to do that?
So my main goal is just to get a finished product that flows well and that is visually pleasing. When you flip through page to page, it just coordinates and it looks very nice.
Right, and it does. I mean, I think the countless people always comment about how awesome the magazine looks, and in my mind, it's like, yeah, the articles are good, the pictures are good, but if you don't put it together just right and in a really creative way, it can kind of crash. Where do you get a lot of your inspiration from? Because you do such an amazing job.
So I love to look around. I love to look at other magazines. I'm constantly on the hunt for inspiration. So just various other publications. And also Katie takes such amazing pictures that's inspiration in itself when you have good photography like she gives. And I don't know, sometimes I just literally sit and stare at the computer until something comes to me.
I know that feeling.
We all know that feeling when you're in the
Yep.
creative world. I think we all know that feeling all too well. Sometimes I'll find myself staring for a little too long, and then I wake
Yep.
up. I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
Oh,
Yeah, Kate, I'm almost done with that article. I'm almost done. Oh man. Is there a particular style that you like, and how do you fit that style with each interview subject being so uniquely different?
so that's actually one of the biggest challenges of putting this thing together as a design. Well, with anything really, as a designer, your particular style that you like. For example, I like more modern, clean lines, less cluttered. But you have to take into account what you're designing, and then you have to take into account to whom you're designing it for. So not everybody likes the same things, and you might design something and you think it's great and you send it off and they're like, I hate it. And you just have to be okay with that and not get offended. And you have to redo it and try
You're not
to
talking
work
about
more-
me, are you? You're not talking about me, are you?
No.
Okay.
No.
She threw you under the bus
Whew.
hard.
No, not at all. So I always look at photography. I look at the content, obviously, male, female, different varieties there, and then I try to just form it into something that fits with what the content is, and that will fit the subject. I mean, we have had times where I send something and Kirk's like, that font seems a little girly. Can we make it a little more masculine? And so we do that. And so it's just kind of a work in progress sometimes with design.
Well, and you do a great job of making those, what would we say, in-issue adjustments and things like that. It's always amazing to me, and we've said this literally for 7 years now. I don't know how they're going to improve on that one, and it seems like every issue is something that's, much better coming out each and every time. And I was like, I just throw my hands up. I don't know where it comes from, but great job. Great job. Hey, Katie came on here and she said, "Oh, you're the sweetest, Amanda. You guys seriously blow me away with every issue." So, yep, absolutely. And I did not, she didn't put anything in there about the baby still crying, so hopefully he's calmed down a little bit. So,
I hope so.
Josh, I know you're waiting for Jay to ask you a question. I mean, you're busting at the seams to have him ask this next question.
I'm just sitting here, support guy.
I was honestly contemplating, Dad, ignoring Josh for like the next 5 minutes and just continuing to talk to Amanda because I just wanted to see how long Josh would sit there and be like,
Please ask me a question.
Please ask a question. Josh is truly, like I've told people, now that people can see that handsome, mooey wapo face of yours. I mean, I've always said, people can't tell this. I want people to comment. Who's older? Is Josh older or am I older? I want people to comment, make a vote. I've always said I'm more mature. I'm the mature one compared to Josh. So I want people to get, I'll spoil it for you. It's Josh. Josh is older. Well, then if he's older, why do I look like this? It just doesn't make sense to me. That's why I say he was, kissed when he was born by the lips
You
of
have
God.
to guess how old I am.
Now that's the challenge. You guys guess how old Josh is. We'll see who gets close. That's a good challenge there. And then guess how old I am. That's not pretty.
I don't want anybody guessing how old I am. Let's just keep me out of it.
Not me either.
Okay. Let's just say it's older. Just older.
Dad, you were printing magazines on rocks. We're so proud of you. You've come so far. We're so proud of you.
That's awesome. Printing
anyway.
magazines on rocks.
Well, since Dad's forcing me to talk to one of my really good friends, I guess I will. Hi, Josh. How are you?
I'm good, Jay. Looks like you're doing good too, man.
Dude, I'm so excited. I'm just happy to see your face and to be on the interview with you. It was funny. Kirk had mentioned, he always calls me and we'll talk, and he's like, "Yeah, I've got this person coming on." And I usually don't listen to Kirk, so I'm just like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. They can come on." Well, I guess he told me, "Yeah, well, I'm thinking about having Josh and Amanda on," and I just was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't know." And so then when I saw the email yesterday, I'm like, "I'm interviewing Josh and Amanda," and Katie was like, "Yeah, I heard him tell you." I was like, I don't know who he was talking about. I wasn't even listening to the name. It's just so and so from so and so. I'm like, sure, I'll talk to him. So I was super pumped when I found out I got to spend my evening with you. I'm like, scratchy throat, go away. I don't care. Headache, go away. I'm hanging out with Josh.
Time out. Before you go any further and ask the question, you don't listen to me?
No, I didn't say that.
What's the deal?
It was me and Josh. Hold on, it was just me and Josh on the screen. You can't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, but we can hear what you're saying.
You were supposed to be muted.
Yeah, that's a private conversation.
All right. I'll let you get back at it.
Thank you. So, Josh Crawford, Joshua Crawfish, from a design perspective, what do you appreciate about Amanda's work and how she's able to tell a story within the story?
Yeah, so I really think that she's exceptionally good at working. One of the best things I think she has going is her ability to work with type. So like she said earlier, Kirk makes, sometimes a distinction that, oh, this font's too girly or that. And those are things you just work through. But she does a really good job at tying type into her designs. So, if you haven't seen an issue of Sports Locker, or maybe you haven't even paid attention to that aspect of it, but it's something that's not really an easy thing to do sometimes. I mean, and she does it exceptionally well. And then also her ability to, take different athletes, different subject matter, different photographs, school colors, all of that, right? And then you create this design that comes out looking, unique and well done and is polished. And I think she works really hard at creating that for every article that she does. Not just because she's, takes pride in what she does, and for the magazine, but also because you're doing it for those athletes as well. I mean, it's important to us to turn out something really great that those athletes and those schools can be proud of as well. So I think she does a very good job with that, and toils and works hard at it sometimes. Sometimes when you're designing, it just comes off really easy. There's some designs you just seems like it took you like 30 minutes and you had the whole article done, right? And then there's others that you rework a half dozen times before you finally go, okay, I think this is actually worthy of moving forward. You know what I mean? So yeah.
And then Kirk says change the type, right? That's Oh, I'm so sorry. No, you guys, great
You
job.
don't need to be sorry.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's we've got a great team, and I'm so thankful you guys are on here tonight. Just because I wanted people to hear a little bit about what it takes to put this magazine together, and you guys are such a huge part of that, and you've been with us from the beginning, and we just really love and appreciate you. And this first segment's flown by. Amanda, other than the one surprise question I had at the beginning, we're on track, and we're going to go ahead and move on to our first sponsor here. And this is the one that I like to bring up for Jay because it makes him hungry. So we're going to pull up the Dairy Barn.
Thank
Well, there it is. I mean, you're coming
Now I
in
want
just
some ice
less than a couple of weeks. You're coming, and you're going to head out there, and you're going
I'm
to
so
say
excited.
hi. You're going to say hi to Delton and Ashley Rissler out there at Diesel Power Plus, the Dairy
Absolutely.
Barn, and you're going to eat some ice cream.
Absolutely, I am, and I'm very
I
excited.
think we'll have
Josh
to
looks
join on
like,
that outing.
Yep, looks like Josh is coming with me. We're gonna have us.
Love ice cream.
I love ice cream. That's awesome. Well, we appreciate Delton and Ashley and everything that they've been a part of as far as putting this program together. And we just, because they have been a part of this, we're able to do cool interviews like this. And we also get to hear from Elijah Mayfield, who says, I've never been to that ice cream shop before. Elijah, it is out on the intersection of Highway 87 and 50 right there in California. You can't miss it. It's a big red building on the left-hand side. Hop in there and say Jay sent you, even though he's not tried it yet. So there you go. All right, Jay, jump on into the next segment.
Well, I'm just excited. I think I have to, sample every flavor. I don't know how I don't. If I'm gonna recommend it, I'm just gonna have to sample every flavor. So
I'll
Delton,
take video.
you better get
I'll take
the-
video.
There you go, Delton. You better get that ice cream ready for me, 'cause I'm coming. I will say, Amanda, do you love this? I just love this. We all get to talk about how great you are, and so I'm just
No,
we
no,
are
I don't
all
love
just
this.
loving this. I could tell that I could just see you physically getting uncomfortable. Amanda, it is okay for people to love on you, okay? You are awesome, accepted.
It's
And
super
we
sweet
all
of you guys.
and we all do not like getting corrected by Kurt. He does that to me in my articles, and I tell you what, woo! That
Let
man
me say
in the corner.
that Kirk very rarely says anything but great job to me. So it's been like 3 times ever, probably.
Mine's
Yeah,
at least
he's
4 or
ever
5 times
corrected
an
me.
issue. Oh man! So I
No.
guess it's the quality that someone's bringing. Got it. You put that in perspective for me. Thank you.
That's great.
So Amanda, the newest issue of Sports Locker just came out, and holy moly, it looks so good. I haven't got the physical copy yet, but day one, as soon as I could look at that digital version, I was scrolling through it, reading everything, and it just came out so good. There is such a variety of sports and personalities in this issue.
Hmm.
You really try to make a statement with the cover. I absolutely love looking back, and on the digital version, it's really cool because if you hit a certain button, you can see all the magazines lined up at the top of the web, and you can just look at
Yeah.
all the covers. And I
Yeah.
did that today just to look at them again. And I loved looking at how unique every cover is and how you put so much time and dedication into that. Um, when you're making a cover, what are you looking for? And then what did you really like about this September October cover?
Okay, so when it comes to the cover, it's important first to have a very clear, crisp photo. And that's, of course, where Katie comes in. She does a phenomenal job at those cover shots. I'm going to hold a copy up here so you can see um, the masthead up here, the Sports Locker masthead. That has to be able to fit at the top. And sometimes I have to do some adjustments to get his head over top of it like that. And then we also have to have down the side text, room for text. So we look for that. And we always try to come up with something unique. I always look for the fun, the unique photos that she does. And we've done a lot of covers. It's been, I can't even remember how many years now. So it's been a lot of covers. And so for Katie to be able to capture some unique and some different poses is always really remarkable to me. And she does a great job with that. And so I always try to pick ones that maybe we haven't done before or something that's really fun. And that was the particular, what I loved about this last issue is it was something that we had never done before. He was holding it, football up with his arm down. He looked real cool. So we always look for creative and unique poses, and that's what I go for on those.
Yes, and he was doing the Heisman pose there, so that was
Oh, that's
we
what
all
it's called.
we all were looking at that one and like that's the one. That has to be the one.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, I knew right away.
Hey, I want to share something here real quick that my sister put on here, and it says, "He demands perfection. You guys have got it." So, I didn't know I demanded perfection. Maybe she's talking about when I forced all the chores on them when I was the oldest of 4 and we were all at home. Maybe that's what she means. I don't know. But she's awesome. Katie has a question for both Josh and Amanda. What has been one of your favorite articles to design so far?
Oh, goodness.
Oh, boom. I did not throw that out there. Katie did.
Katie.
Blame your daughter. How dare you?
You can think about that.
I really don't know that I could pick a particular article. There've been so many fun ones. I will say, in this latest issue, though, I'll pick one from that. I loved the one about Fulton, and Fulton is home. And I thought that was a really cool thing. I loved designing that one and putting it together. I see Katie's comment. So I loved doing that one out of this last issue.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
You go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I'll speak up a little bit here and say that something I didn't bring up in the last one is that Kirk is and Jay are being very gracious here, and I don't want to take any credit for some of the design because my wife Amanda is actually pretty much 100% in the design side of this thing. I early on in the early years of Sports Locker, I did a lot more involvement with the design side of it because Amanda was so new to the process. But over the years, as she's grown and her abilities, I now am more or less just the technical guy. Like I look over the magazine. I make sure before we go to print that everything is in order for the printer, so that things aren't gonna go haywire. We're not gonna have any issues at the printer. Color correction, things like that. I kind of look at the photographs and double check Katie, things like that. So to answer that question would be a little hard for me since I'd have to go a ways back to actually pick something out that I've designed. But I wanted to speak up for Amanda because that's one of the things too with her abilities in her designing. I mean, to do the cover to cover magazine like that is pretty amazing and exceptional.
And so really what you're saying altogether, Josh, is that she really doesn't need your input anymore as far as the creative part, right?
Well, to be honest with you, I still give my input. Whether
she says, "Get out of here,"
whether she wants me to or not. But I think that over the years, we understand each other in the sense that she knows now if my reaction is not like top notch, she keeps working at it. And so she'll ask me, she most of the time she'll know, like you kind of know as a designer. I mean, like I said, I have designed, I do design, and in a design a lot of times when you have the home run or that when you're close. And when she asks me for input, she usually knows right away if my reaction is not in such a way that, it's like, yeah, no, that's great, or whatever. She'll instantly go, your reaction wasn't what I was hoping you were gonna say. So I think I'll keep working at it here.
So basically, go ahead.
I have redesigned an entire article because I will ask Josh, "What do you think?" He says, "Yeah, it's nice," and I'm like, "Nope, that's not what I was going for." So scratch it all and start over.
And then you'll say, "Joshua Crawford, you go to your room."
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's where I come in, and I think that, like I said, if she doesn't ask me, then I know she's happy with it, and she knows that she's got that good feeling about it. When she does ask me, I give my honest opinion, and I think she trusts me she trusts me enough to know that I wouldn't steer her wrong in that respect. And if it's not up to par with what I know she's capable of, or what we know from the past of the magazine, right? Because we all, love Sports Locker, and we all love what is brought to the table each issue. And so I think that knowing that, I know what she's capable of and when she's designed. And so when my reaction is, yeah, that's nice. That's my easy way of being like, it could probably be a little better.
Oh man. Well, honestly, I've known you guys so long. I think it's funny to hear you guys talk about that because honestly, as I've said, you guys were kind of role models, mentors for us, especially when me and Katie were so young. And you guys have always had a great way of communicating and being open and honest with each other. So I think that's really cool. Josh, as a sports enthusiast yourself, you love sports. What do you find most rewarding in helping put together a really good magazine?
So yeah, that's a fairly easy question. I think that when Kirk came to me, I mean, probably the first time Kirk and me talked about Sports Locker, I would say was 8 or 9 years ago, probably. And coming up with the first mock-up of the masthead and the design and the concept of that was a whole lot of fun, and it was exciting. And it's amazing to see how far we've come over the years from the first issue that we designed. With I think the first issue was Helias volleyball on the cover. I think was one of their state championships. And so from that first issue, just the work that went in, to that, to get it to that point and to finally see it in print, and kind of it's the same feeling today. I think, even though I take less of a part in that, in the sense of I don't toil through the designs like Amanda, but I'm there at the production point and being a part of it, and I'm always there to step in. I mean, there has been times when in life, when life happens, and I have designed articles and I've had to step in and help through things. It's just the way it is. But I think that what's really great about it, from day one, the concept is getting to give these athletes a voice and getting to tell their story. I think that that's what is so unique about Sports Locker, and where knowing Kirk and where Kirk's heart is and where his heart has always been with the magazine. I think is really great. Because I know that, I know Kirk and I've known him for a long time, and so when he brought this idea forward, I know that there's, there can always be people, who maybe think otherwise or judge in a certain way about motives or things like that. But, I know that it was always about being able to bring these athletes' stories to the table and allow them to highlight what they're doing, and giving them the opportunity to, have a voice and to influence people and to just tell their hearts and what they have going on. And I think that's what's really great about Sports Locker.
Well, thank you, Josh. I will have to say there was one person that helped push me out of the boat onto the water, and that was that guy, Jay Gill. He was like, we really need to do this. I mean, the idea was formulating, but he was like, are we going to do this or not? And so we finally did it. Where you go? All right. Hey, we're going to interrupt this segment real quick, and we're going to go ahead and go on to our next sponsor, CNS Business Services, and we will be right back. You guys are doing a great job.
Do you wish you could work from home? You can. If you work better in your PJs, it works for us at CNS Business Services. We're adapting to the way people want to work. We've established new, innovative ways of flexible staffing, including work from home. Right now, we have remote job opportunities for those who enjoy customer service. If you're looking for employment options that fit your lifestyle, call CNS Business Services or apply online at cs-business.com.
Say yes to CNS.
Those guys at CNS Business Services are awesome, but the one thing that they said there, I mean, it's good that Jay's not around here because he would probably want to work in his PJs, and we don't want to see that. We want you to just go to work like you're supposed to in the clothes you're supposed to wear, right?
I mean, I know that I'm business up top, but down low, I'm in my PJs, baby. Come on.
I thought so.
Yep.
All right, no, we appreciate Paula and her whole team and everything they do for our community and helping to find people jobs. There are jobs everywhere out here in mid-Missouri. If you need one, give them a holler at CNS Business Services. All right, Jay, keep her running, buddy.
Yeah. And by the way, that was an awesome commercial spot from CNS Business Services.
It was good.
They did really good on that one.
Yeah.
Amanda, my goodness, I have always been inspired by you. You are. I'm going to just keep talking you up. I want to see you try to leave the stream. But I mean, I don't know how you're able to do everything that you do. So, stay-at-home mom. You're homeschooling all the kids. You're putting together this magazine every 2 months, and we all know that Kirk is just so mean. And so, I mean, you've got I feel like there's just all this pressure that can get put on you. And I mean, it can get a little stressful. So, I mean, how do you manage all of that? You're a superwoman. How do you do it?
No. So actually, when I saw this question, I literally laughed out loud because I don't even know. I mean, I guess you just do what you got to do. I do work a lot of late nights. So usually homeschooling during the day, and then, you got all your evening dinner things and evening activities, and then we get the kids to bed. And that's usually when I do a lot of my working. So a lot of late nights during magazine times. But that's just how it is.
Well, and we're going to go into this a little bit though too. You've had a lot of other things in addition to that. Like I think one time you were pregnant with Ollie, right? I mean, just getting ready to have him. Wasn't that one? And then there was another time that you were moving. In the process of doing that.
We've moved a couple times.
I mean, you guys have had different things on top of that in addition to everything else, and you still have put out a very great and quality product. So that is kudos to you guys again on doing that. Like Jay saying, like Wonder Woman, absolutely.
No.
Josh, what superhero do you want to be?
Let's go with Iron Man.
Iron Man. Okay, good, cool. Jay?
Good answer. No, well, and I just wanted the viewers to know, like, she's not lying, because I'll wake up super early in the morning, like 4:30 in the morning. I check emails. She was emailing just like 2 hours before. I'm like, oh my goodness, when do you sleep? But when it's magazine time, she is just on full go. So she's not lying. She puts in the late night hours. That's that.
Amanda, I want to go back to one real quick. We've had many inspirational excuse me, many inspirational stories in the magazine, and some of them I know have really touched your heart with some of the different things that some of these student athletes have had to overcome and go through. Anything that sticks out in particular, or anything you want to say about any of that?
So there are three kinds. First of all, I've designed articles of students that I taught when I was a teacher, and that always has a special place. Or just kiddos that I know. So that's always really fun. And then we've had these articles where these student athletes have just overcome these enormous challenges, whether they've lost a parent, injuries, and just some of these really big things that they are overcoming and continuing to push forward. So that's always really inspiring. And then the last one is I always especially love where the student talks about their love of the Lord. When they really call that out and talk about how much he means to them, because that's something I can just really relate to. And so those are the three kinds that just really are really special.
It's a great answer. Thank you. I'm glad we went back to that.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah. So, all right, Jay, sorry I interrupted you, but go ahead.
Well, yeah, no, I don't even know how I follow up. Amanda's just perfect. Oh, this is so much fun. Josh, I want to talk to you, buddy. You help with different parts of the magazine. You've talked about that tonight. You've talked about how you kind of just like to give an overview. You've talked about your role. You also do a lot of design in real life, in your real life job too. Not that this isn't real life. That's a weird way to put it. Your full-time gig, not just a part-time gig. So I'm kind of curious. What do you see what that Sports Locker does that's different than a lot of the other publications that you work with on a daily basis?
Yeah. So I work at a commercial printer here in town. So and I actually am in the pre-press and creative services department. So I do design work. I've been doing that for 15 years. And so I see a lot of publications. We do we print for pretty much all 50 states, and we do all kinds of different types of publications, from your really high-end stuff to just your kind of mom and pops type things. And something that again always sticks out to me is Amanda's ability to just to create the layouts. I mean, it's I know I keep bringing that back, and I know she is one of the most humble people that you'll ever meet. And so it is hard for her to take these compliments, but her ability to work with colors too. Some of her rods, her Rod Smith articles that she does with the color, to put all that together with the color schemes that she works with, and to pull that all together. I mean, those aren't easy things to do. But then I have to say, I mean, all the writing that's brought together and the stories that we put out, I think that's one of the things that is always so real to me, is that it's real life. It's real life articles. It's real things that are happening to people. As Amanda just talked about, people who have been through hard times, and lots of inspirational things. And I think that's something that we can all relate to at any time. And whenever you get to hear those stories or call them testimonies, those are inspiring. And hopefully that's I know that's always on our heart, on the design side. I know it's on Kirk's heart, and Jay, everybody who's a part of Sports Locker from day one. That's always been something that we have taken serious, because anytime we get an opportunity to highlight God and what He does for each of us. And then, a student gets to highlight that, we're going to be all over that. And I think that's one of the great things that we bring to the table. So.
You guys, these are all great answers and great comments. I don't know why I keep having a frog in my throat or whatever, but I did want to point out one thing, that Amanda does that I know is very difficult. Many times when we have like those features like with Rod, where all the multiple pictures of the student athletes, or even for the encore, where you're getting photographs in from all different people, they're all different sizes, and she pulls it all together so that it looks like the same photographer did it all. So that is a difficult thing, but she gets it done. And again, great job, Amanda. Outstanding.
You guys, I am not gonna know what to do with myself.
Josh, I'm thinking flowers, chocolates, any of that kind of stuff. Feel free. This is like Amanda's Valentine's Day, but it's. We've got one more question for each of you. I do want to come back with one, Josh, real quick. Through some of the articles, how are you able to take some of that information from some of these articles and not necessarily motivate your kids, but have teachable moments with them?
Yeah, so I think that as Amanda mentioned, anytime we have an article of somebody who's overcoming something great or has something going on in their life, and then they've had to push through, those are always teachable moments. I mean, we spend a lot of time, of course, Amanda homeschools, but I try to get the kids into sports, and so I coach their teams, and I get to coach other young men and or young boys on Sam's teams and things right now. Hopefully, as Charlotte and Oliver get further along, I'll be able to coach on their teams as well. But I think that it's always a great moment when you can point them to another older role model, in a sense, that is doing something great, and you just take those moments and say, hey, as they grow up and as they are in sports, you can teach them moments of sportsmanship and what it means to push through adversity and what it means to train hard. I mean, many of these athletes, they in addition to what they're doing academically or outside of the classroom, they're working hard at their sport, and I think that's a lesson in itself that you can teach kids today, is that to get things in life, you got to work hard for what you want, and it's important to earn that, and so.
Very well done. And I'm sorry I was having a hard time not laughing because I catch Jay occasionally when he's not looking. I like to flip the screen and catch him when he's not looking. So once he comes back on and looks up, he's like, I can't believe you did that to me again.
It's just so silly. Like, it's just the worst. Like, I'll be sitting here, just finger picking away, and then there I'm on screen. Man. I just have to act like it's fine.
Hey, Amanda, Elijah asked this question. How many years have you done this magazine?
Oh, is it, how many? 7? I was going to say, I think 7.
It seems like how many? A lot.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, Jay, let's go ahead and finish out with Amanda, last one. This has been a great interview. I'd love to have them on here. We could keep going all night, but...
Oh, yeah, we could. But, I mean, Amanda, 7 years, you haven't aged at all. I mean, just great job. Great job. Amanda, I want to finish on what you enjoy most about providing Sports Locker magazine to homes, businesses, and schools throughout mid-Missouri.
I think I enjoy putting out a magazine that is highlighting the amazing things that these student athletes are doing. We live in a world right now where negativity and hatefulness are just in the spotlight. Everywhere you look, it's just all about the bad. And this magazine is always focused on dedication, hard work, on love and care. And I also love how it's focused on community. And I think that's just something really phenomenal, especially in these days.
Yeah, and we never have a shortage of hearing the good stories and the good things that are happening with these young people in our community, as well as the coaches and
Yeah.
our outside writers, the things that they write about. I mean, that's why I love it. It's just a good encouragement. It's not anything that you're getting beat down on every single
No.
day. You can pick it up and say, that's refreshing.
It's refreshing, yeah.
You guys do a great job of helping to bring that all together. And, Amanda and Josh, I'm so thankful for you guys. We just appreciate you. Jay, he does get the final word. I mean, when you're putting together the magazine, you're doing the final page, so he always gets the final word. And it's even that way on this program. I don't know how to stop that. I really don't. But it's okay, because he always has a great thing to say. And if you guys will hold on here, afterwards we'll visit with you after the program closes. And we just, again, appreciate you. One more thing. Jane, Jay's mother, says, and your children are beautiful, Amanda and Josh.
Aw. Thank you, Jane.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much, and we will be right with you after the program ends. And I got to give Jay the final word, so we're going to go ahead and do that real quick.
Okay.
Oh man, boom, boom. Thank you so much, Dad. I do listen to you, but sometimes I just don't always hear or maybe understand everything you're saying.
What'd you say?
I was genuinely surprised yesterday when I found out we were going to interview Josh and Amanda. If you told me, I have no recollection of remembering. And
Well,
so
I did tell
was
you.
excited.
I did.
I know. My wife said she was there. She heard it. I'm like, I was tuning them out. Anyways, I was legitimately just excited because Amanda and Josh, like I said, they are just some of the most genuine people I know. And they have always, I don't know what it is. I do. It's my wife. They really like my wife, Kate. And so I was default. I got to come along for the ride. And so they just always poured love into us. I can remember our trips to Dairy Queen, which now we can go to, get ice cream in California, which looks so good. But I listen, Dad. Yeah, she does. She does.
Thank you, daughter.
My wife's amazing. But just how much love and care Josh and Amanda put into me and Katie, and I really do think that they helped define us growing up, especially because we didn't want to listen to you and Mom. So whatever you were telling, hey, Amanda, Josh, help them out, and they did. And so I just am forever grateful for Josh and Amanda. They are just dear friends, and I love them so much. And so Amanda, you are just one of the sweetest people I know, and you're so genuine, and you care about your friends, and it shows. And so I know you can carry the weight of the world, but I love when you get to talk with Katie and just bounce things off of each other, and like I said, you're just an amazing ally for this little journey that we call life. So we truly do thank you for your friendship. And Josh, you're just one of the smartest guys I know. I love getting to hang out with you and talk with you. Side rant, and I will wrap it up, Dad, I promise. But if you haven't watched the Bill Belichick interview that he just did last week, a reporter asked him a simple question, and he goes on this 10-minute beautiful speech about the subject, and he is just beaming with pride at the end. I've never seen Bill Belichick smile so much. And listening to Josh tonight, I'm like, he's just like Bill Belichick, and he's got these fun facts and great information, and he's just one of the smartest guys I know. And I love listening to you, Josh. I love hearing what you have to say. So you've always been great to me. I remember playing softball with you. You're one of the strongest guys I know. And so anyway, Josh, my man, I can't wait to see you in 2 weeks. And so thank you for being on with us tonight, and I really do love you, brother. Wow, this was an awesome interview with some of our amazing, with our amazing graphic design And like Josh said, it's all Amanda. That is her baby. It's her vision, and she just knocks it out of the park every issue. And they make a great team. And so, anyways, Sports Locker Nation, you guys have been treated tonight with an amazing interview. And so we want to keep bringing you guys great content every week. And so you've got to like our page. You've got to share it. You've got to subscribe. You've got to comment. You got to ask questions every week. And we will keep bringing you guys awesome people just like Josh and Amanda Crawford. So Sports Locker Nation, we love you. This is One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I'm your co-host, Jay Gill, and I love you guys too. Have a great week. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys next week. God bless you.